Mariners and partners, hop in aboard for Marino World Online. We guarantee enriching MVP or Maritime Viewpoints. I am your host, Ms. Lynn Bacani of the Marino World Operations. Joining us in this special episode on the Day of the Seafarer is Captain ALFREDO Agustin Jr., General Manager, TSM Dry Shipping Philippines. Welcome to the program and happy Day of the Seafarer, Captain Al.
Good morning, Ms. Lynn, and to all the viewers. I would also like to take this opportunity to greet the seafarers. Happy Seafarers Day.
Bagay na bagay itong episode na to sa inyo, Captain, because our theme for the Day of the Seafarer celebration this year is Your Voyage, Then and Now, Share Your Journey. So I'm sure marami kang mai-share na mga experience mo sa amin from being a seafarer and now a top executive of TSM Group. So please tell us a brief background of the company, the TSM Dry Shipping Philippines, which you are leading.
Okay, TSM Dry Shipping Philippines is part of the TSM group of companies that is composed of TSM Maritime Services, TSM Shipping Philippines, the TSM Chemical, and Solvang Philippines. Okay, adhering to the national and international statutory standard, we provide our clients with cost-effective and quality crewing services. TSM Dry Shipping, we are handling various kind of bulk carriers such as Handymax, Panamax, Kamsarmax, and Cape-sized vessels. We also handle general cargo vessels and also offshore vessels, which consists of multi-purpose platform vessels and survey vessels. As TSM Group is committed to promoting the welfare of Filipino seafarers and their families, we make it a point that our seafarers are well taken care of with benefits and privileges that they can extend to their families. Seafarers are essential workers through the unsung heroes of the global trade. So as a manning agency, we do our share on our part by prioritizing the welfare of seafarers. They are the ones making the sacrifices and hard work for the global economy to get moving, especially for the past 2 years that we have been fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, we are quite lucky at this point because the COVID-19 has been relaxed. So we are now going back to a pre-pandemic level of crew changes.
So how is it working with TSM Group? We understand TSM Group is one of the country's largest manning agencies, and then you have the Tsm Group, no? One of the world's top 10 biggest ship management companies. Advantage ba na former seafarer ka at ngayon ay hinahawakan mo yung isa sa mga top positions dyan sa TSM?
Oh, well, I would say that working with the TSM Group and Tsm Group has taught me how to be more innovative. As our CEO, Mr. Ian Garcia said, our passion for innovation makes us ahead of the competition. We have launched some of the biggest innovations in the maritime industry, including the TSM Privilege Card Program, the first of its kind loyalty program, and the TSM Recruit app, the first app-based recruitment tool in the Philippines. Maritime industry. We value the importance of launching programs and innovations designed to improve the quality of life of our seafarers, employees, and their families. Treating everyone in the organization, it makes TSM unique. As to the advantage ba ang pagiging marino, definitely advantage po dahil kasi siyempre what I have experienced on board could also be relayed to those applicants. Yeah.
So how would you describe your work then when you're still active on board and now managing the crew? Paano ba yung pagbabarko noon and then ngayon sa recruitment process niyo?
Ang pagbabarko noon is very different at this generation. During our time, we do the natural navigation that we have said that we do celestial navigations, we do the terrestrial navigation. Compared to today, puro electronics na. They have the GPS, of course, and also they have now the electronic navigation. Pagdating naman sa recruitment, we are glad that we are going back to normal. Or we can also call it the new normal. For recruiting applicants, apart from the traditional recruitment process that we used to have, it has become more convenient now for seafarers applicants to apply with TSM, with the new digital platforms that we have, such as the website, social media, and as I mentioned, we have the TSM Recruit app that makes the application more convenient. With just a finger flick, a seafarer can apply for a seafaring job with any of the companies under TSM Group. Maswerte nga sila ngayon kasi puro na lang social media. They can apply online, and also we can do the interview through virtual interviews also.
Mas more convenient yung recruitment ngayon for you as a crewing manager, and para naman sa seafarers natin, of course, mas madali at mukhang mas marami ang nakakapag-apply ngayon, Cap, no?
Mas marami talaga nakaka-apply ngayon kasi every corner in the Philippines can also apply now. Kaya they do not need to come to Manila to report personally for the interview. They just send us an application form, we will process, and then interview them through virtually.
But how do you ensure the authenticity of those documents, or kumbaga yung background ng ating mga marino na pinipresent nila online?
Okay, when it comes to the authenticity, we go to the Marino website to double check. Usually, naka-upload naman yung mga documents nila sa Marina. And same time, we can also do character checking in their previous companies if they are fully hireable or not. That is the advantage of having a good course communication.
Buti na lang ang Marina, mabilis din yung kanilang automation or yung digitalization nila dyan sa agency.
Yeah, Marina is actually up to date naman pagdating sa mga uploading, and real time din yung pag-uploading nila. Otherwise kasi kung di mo makita yung mga certificate of seafarers, that means there is something wrong. Yeah.
How many
thank you to
years?
Marina.
How many years have you been working with the crewing industries, Cap? And how many years sa pagbabarko?
Yeah, first, I've been sailing for 13 years, from cadet to reaching the master position. And for the crewing, I've been working as crewing operations for 25 years. Yeah, it's quite a lot of time now. So, well, it's good to be in crewing.
And ano yung mga challenges pa during the pandemic sa operations?
The challenges during the pandemic is, of course, the various restrictions of local government to travel, for the seafarers to travel, Different LGUs have their different restrictions, And of course, the most challenging is, of course, the transportation, because hindi naman lahat ng seafarers ay may sasakyan to come to the office. Yeah. So that is the most challenging for them.
Have you experienced a pandemic like this, COVID-19, when you were still working on board, Cap? And this time we also have the geopolitical crisis, the Russia and Ukraine war. Have you experienced those crises during your on board pa?
Fortunately, we have not experienced any COVID situation during our time. What I have experienced was the war between Israel and the Palestinian, which it is called the Intifada. So whenever we travel to Israel with discharge cargoes, there may mga Scud missiles over you. to surprise the Israeli people, So of course we were also involved, thinking that these missiles is contained with chemical reactions.
At that time, ang government ba natin nag-implement din ng kumbaga mandatory repatriation or evacuation from the area?
Well, being if the area is declared as war zone, for example, a war zone, of course, the government will definitely arrange for the repatriation of those seafarers who are not willing to sail on the war zone area.
From the time you were still working on board CAP and now, no, how would you compare the benefits and privileges for seafarers and their families?
The job is challenging and it's for tough people. Seafarers deserve to be well compensated, considering the job or task they need to perform while on board. Various maritime institutions, organizations worldwide have launched several campaigns supporting all seafarers, and we are seeing the results. As a manning agency, we also play an important role, especially regarding benefits and privileges. This is one of the reasons behind our innovations. We make it a point that our seafarers and the families are well taken care of. Apart from our existing crew and family welfare programs, as I have mentioned, we also have the TSM Privilege Card program launched in 2019. It entitles members to affordable housing and car loans, insurance policy and coverage, health and wellness programs, prepaid health insurance cards, and valued postpaid plans, among other privileges. So if we talk about seafarers, benefits and privileges, TSM has more to offer.
We ensure continuous growth and career progression through the TSM Career Development Program and the TSM Ratings Academy. Our seafarers and their families come first. With the TSM Privilege Card Program, we also look after their health and wellness through the TSM Crew Care. We believe in arming our seafarers and employees with correct information to face the COVID-19 pandemic. We provide support when it matters the most through the TSM Calamity Assistance Program. We also look after our seafarers' families via the TSM Seafarers Wives Association. We are here to cheer up our seafarers while undergoing quarantine with the TSM Friday. And lastly, we gather all our principals, seafarers, and other stakeholders through our TSM Group Annual Conference.
Balikan ko lang yun sa Russia-Ukraine. Meron ba tayong mga seafarers from TSM who were affected by that war?
Fortunately, Ms. Lynn, we have not. I have not heard, or we have no seafarers affected by Ukraine-Russian war. Although, in case we have a contingency plan, in case this will happen.
So, hindi kasama yung seafarers niyo doon sa mga na-report, na may mga na-stranded tayo doon. From the time you were still working on board and now, how would you compare yung kumbaga experience mo sa recruitment, sa pag-apply?
So pag-apply kasi dati, kailangan kung kami nung panahon namin, pag nag-apply ka, kailangan you have to report personally to the office. Right there and there, you have to prepare for the interview. Okay, so you don't have much time to review. As compared today, of course, being virtual, you also you have the Google na marami ka makukuha na sagot doon, and sometimes on virtual interview may mga pwede kang mag-refer sa mga sa Google din, which is very much different compared to our time.
How's the demand for our Filipino seafarers now, given we are recovering from the pandemic and yung other countries still mataas yung COVID-19 sa kanila, and then we have this geopolitical crisis, itong ang Russia-Ukraine. How's the demand?
Well, the demand actually has increased for Filipinos, especially now that other countries are now are not very easy to travel to other countries, especially we'll mention China, because for our part we cannot do cruises in China, so we have to relieve all the Chinese seafarers coming by Filipino. So talagang medyo it's tough. Although right now being the new normal, dumadami na ang mga kailangan ng mga other namin ng mga principal namin. During the pandemic, there are also a lot of vessels coming to Manila just for the crew changes. Because not all, let's say in the Asian countries, it's not all advisable for them to do crew change. Kaya medyo tumaas ang being the government has opened up Manila, Davao, Batangas for the crew changes. Kaya medyo nagkaroon tayo ng advantage for the crew changes.
At ngayon, Kap, with Russia, Ukraine, kasi marami dyan, especially sa Russian seafarers are officers, di ba? So,
Yes.
what are your initiatives to attract more seafarers to join the TSM Group, lalong-lalo na itong mga officers natin?
We are also ensuring that our cadet program or career progression program is being implemented dahil kasi marami na rin kaming tao na ipo-promote to cope up with the to relieve the Russians and Ukrainian who are requesting to sign off upon completion of their contract. We also do aggressive recruitment for the suitable officers to prepare ourselves in case these non-Filipinos would require a replacement para madagdagan din, of course, yung pool namin on board.
How's the composition of your crew, the pool of your officers and crew?
We have multinational crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in fact, we have at least 6 nationals in one vessels. Yeah.
But pinakamarami pa rin ang Filipino.
Yeah, we have in our fleet, TSM dry shipping fleet, we have 90% Filipinos.
Mm-hmm. And how many?
We also have, of course, lady seafarers and officers, which is also a good indication that we are competitive in terms of seafaring industry.
So in your cadetship program, cadets or our female cadets are also included?
Yes, ma'am. Females are also included.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Cap. What do you consider as your peak of your career? Yeah, being a captain of the ship, you commanded vessels, or as a crewing manager, having that top position in crewing?
I consider it too. You know, having reached as master, ship master, is also a success on my end because I have studied the nautical course. So the peak is being a master. And at the same time, being a crewing manager is also, for me, is quite okay because what I learned on board, what I have implementing on board, I can also implement it with the mining industry. You know, I can relay to the seafarers who are applying the experiences on board.
And what are the challenges in recruitment naman, ano? Kasi syempre, medyo, ano ba yan? Reporting ka directly to the board ng TSM or pati sa principals, you're also discussing with them?
I am reporting directly to the CEO and President of TSM Dry Shipping, and all in the same time, I have to be accountable to the principal in terms of recruitment and operations of the seafarers. It comes of documentation. Yeah.
Of course, in terms of managing, not only the seafarers, siguro your office staff.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, my office staff. Yeah, I have to ensure that they are doing their task, and they're also been recognizing the seafarers while they are reporting to the office.
How many of them, specifically sa TSM Dry Shipping, who are supporting you in your operations?
Well, actually, in the operations, I have 25 staffs
Mhm.
here. Yeah, I have the managers and also the crewing officers, and of course the documentation staff, and the LOs.
Captain Al, please tell us about more your journey as a seafarer. What lessons in seafaring career would you like to share with our aspiring cadets and seafarers?
Yeah, my journey as a seafarer started in, of course, 1981 when I started as a cadet. And during those times, it's been really tough, because we are sailing with German officers. We know that Germans are very strict, in terms of work, and of course in terms of discipline. And it is also quite challenging, because you have to be determined. Dapat wala yung basta-basta homesickness. And during my time, wala pang mga social media noon, wala na pang Wi-Fi. So you will just communicate through letters from your families, and you may be calling your family on circumstances, pero you are using the satellite, pero napakamahal. Okay, so I think being a seafarer is you have to be determined, disciplined, and at the same time you also have to be flexible.
How about the training? Mas marami ba yung training ngayon, because of the yung development din sa vessels?
Mas maraming training ngayon kumpara sa panahon namin, kasi ngayon lalo na't pagdating sa safety. Because after the 9/11, doon nagkaroon ng talagang very strict na pagdating sa training in terms of environment, and safety.
May mga experience ka ba on board na medyo naging critical sa operations?
Well, critical operations actually is yung sometimes may mga oil spillage sa barko. Oil spillage, and of course may mga sa mga crew sometimes meron naman yung hindi nagkakaunawaan. So when you are the skipper on board, of course you have to deal with all these people. You have to ensure that there is harmonious relationship on board. You have to hear both sides. Yeah.
Meron ka bang mga experience na all Filipino crew tapos yung ibang mixed crew? Ano ba ang mas maganda? Kasama mo lahat Filipino crew or may mix?
Dalawa yan, Ma'am Lynn. Okay, kasi there are others who are saying that mas mabuti ang full Filipino. The downside of full Filipino sometimes nagkakaroon ng regionalism, Yeah, so meron yung kumpul-kumpulan. But when it comes to mixed crew, of course, merong konting gap, merong konting balakid ba na para hindi agad magsama-sama sa isang kwarto. Parang hindi regionalism. Kaya it is for me it is better with mixed crew.
So Cap, sa recruitment naman, how do you balance kumbaga yung sa principals and then as a seafarer, yung inyong treatment?
Well, actually, when you treat seafarers, unang-una treat them with respect and treat them with you have to have a personal touch with them. You have to understand where they came from. Kasi sometimes magulo din ng family. Siyempre, yung mga family kailangan unawain mo rin. Ayun ang doon, yung napaka-importante sa kanila.
You mentioned about the family. How's the family naman, yung iyong kumbaga family as your inspiration, no, sa iyong pagbabarko? Ilan ba ang anak mo, Kap?
I have three kids, two boys and one girl. And thanks God that nakatapos naman sila na maayos na and they have their own work now. Kaya medyo, well, otherwise everything okay with my family.
So, Kap, ano yung lessons or kumbaga yung may papayo sa kanila, sa ating mga seafarers?
Ang may papayo ko lang sa mga seafarers, of course, is to just go ahead, full steam. Okay, but you have to be adaptable. You have to be determined, and you have to keep on learning. But lastly, save and save and save for the future.
And for those who are also kumbaga may plano rin na maging executive sa industry after their seafaring career, what would you advise them, sir?
Well, to work in a company is actually one of the being a seafarer. If you work in a company, as soon as you want to stay ashore, it's I could say it's challenging also because you have to start from scratch because you have to interview seafarers and then level them according to your expectations. You also talk to them about the suitability where they are boarding. Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Al. Anything more you would like to elaborate or emphasize for the celebration of the Day of the Seafarer?
Well, Ma'am Lynn, at this point, I can only say that being a seafarer is a tough job. Yeah. Kasi lagi kang lumalay sa family mo. Okay? But with God's blessings, of course, we will always be safe. Yeah. And again, I would like to greet our seafarers, a Seafarers Day, and Godspeed. Thank you for having me, Ma'am Lynn.
Thank you, Captain Al, at sana mas marami ka pang matulungang kapwa seafarers mo na matupad din yung kanilang mga pangarap by providing jobs and opportunities to them through a reputable company like TSM Group.
Thank you.
Captain ALFREDO Agustin Jr., General Manager, TSM Dry Shipping Philippines. Thank you for watching Maritime Viewpoints. Stay on board. Subscribe to Marino World Online for more meaningful maritime news and views. I am Lynn Bacani. Happy Day of the Seafarer. God bless Maritime Philippines.
Looking for a job within the TSM Group? Wait no more. Let innovation work for you. Take your job search to the next level and do it anytime, anywhere. Introducing TSM Recruit, an app-based recruitment tool for a more convenient job search and application. The first of its kind in the Philippine maritime industry. Want to know more? Download the TSM Recruit app now on Google Play or the App Store.
I've watched you communicate with
It's my base to recognize
TSM Viewpoints.